So as a current year 13 who finished year 12 about 3 months ago and got pretty decent results, I got 3 A's, which is the highest grade possible. There is no such thing as an A star in AS, at least for me. I wanted to make a video summarizing my experience throughout year 12, giving those new year 12 students some advice that my past self would have found really helpful. Before we go into my year 12 experience, hi, my name is Mario and I am a 17-year-old international A-level student from Spain. I'm currently doing year 13 and taking 4 A-levels, which are physics, chemistry, maths, and further maths. So now that you know a bit more about me, let's just go straight into the video. Okay, so let's start by talking about the so-called jump from GCSE to A-level. When people start year 13, they usually assume that their A-level performance will be very similar to their GCSE grades. Although there tends to be a correlation between GCSE grades and A-level grades, this isn't always true. When you start year 12, you realize that GCSE grades don't really matter that much and that year 12 is a start from scratch. Then the first thing that I would have really liked to have known before starting year 12 would have been the fact that the GCSE subjects are very different to the AS and year 12 subjects. In my case, for example, I didn't really like my GCSE chemistry, which seemed to cover lots of content in a very superficial way, involving memorization of different processes and chemical tests that the student didn't really need to understand. When choosing my A levels for year 12, I almost didn't choose chemistry because I didn't really like the GCSE subject. However, and quite surprisingly to me, chemistry ended up being one of my favorite subjects in year 12. I personally found the year 12 content way more interesting, like 10 times more interesting, requiring greater depth of understanding, but also more mental satisfaction as you didn't really need to memorize stuff. Just by understanding concepts, you are able to answer questions correctly. There is very little room for memorization in AS year 12 compared to GCSE. The second thing I wish I would have known before year 12 was the fact that patience is key. Try to be patient with your subjects. You will take some time to adapt to the new A-level subjects, the workload, and the way of learning, but you will soon adjust to the A-level workflow. Remember that you now have fewer subjects than in GCSE. This helps putting the A-level workflow in perspective. Yes, the content is more advanced and complex, however, it is not such a big jump from GCSE. It is just about going a bit deeper into your subjects and learning a few new topics. This leads me to my third point, freeze. When you start A-level, you now have fewer subjects than in GCSE, which means that you usually are given free periods. This is difficult because it is the first time you don't have an adult telling you what to do during your time in school. The most common thing in year 12 is not using the free periods wisely until you get close to exams, until you realize that you are running out of time and that exams are coming really close, at which point you have to cram a lot. To avoid that, I personally think that the most optimal way to use your freeze during year 12 is to dedicate half of the freeze to studying/homework and the other half to just hanging out with your friends and having fun. Now, my fourth point is slightly related to the first and the second one, as you will probably get bad grades at the start of year 12. This is a normal thing. The content just gets more difficult and it requires a greater amount of understanding. However, if you put consistent work in both in class and at home, you will get there eventually. You will start to improve, your grades will start to get better, you will learn the new way in which you have to answer the questions, and you will just do well. Number 5 is about taking your subjects really seriously. Do everything that is on your hand to do as well as you possibly can. Having said this, also take care of yourself and avoid burning yourself out. The last thing you want is to develop a toxic relationship with your subjects, as it will make work and studying a tedious activity. Next comes my sixth point, teachers. When you begin sixth form, you are now closer to being a young adult compared to a small child. This means that now teachers won't be that much of an authority that tells you what to do and what not to do. They will now be closer to a friend that wants you to do as well as possible in your subjects. It is very important that you develop a good relationship with your teachers so that you are able to build up some confidence to ask questions. not only about the content entering into the exam, but about the subject as a whole, including career opportunities within the field and any other news related to the area of study. This carries me to the 7th point, which also includes relationships, but with friends instead of teachers. In 6th form, friendship groups might change due to students leaving and new students entering. It is quite important that you spend time with those people that encourage you to work hard and to succeed. The most fun way to perform well in exams is to create a healthy competitiveness with your friends. This will help you gain intrinsic motivation and it will help you all perform better. The 8th point is about doing more than just attending classes. In GCSE, it might have been enough to just pay attention in class in order to smash the exam. However, in A-level, unless you are an absolute genius, you will have to put some extra work in order to get a good grade. You need to revisit the concepts at home and do some, extra work if possible. Sometimes homework may be enough and others it may not be enough. So you may have to do some worksheets, some questions, some revision. Now my penultimate point, which is number 9, is that you will need to discover and figure out your subject of interest, your career path during year 12 and year 13. Although you still have year 13 to make a decision, I really recommend you to start looking for different courses in year 12 without any pressure. Just go and search for any course that seems to be interesting to you and look at the subjects that they cover and all the job opportunities, and with that it's more than enough to get a main idea of what you want to do in the future. This will really help you when starting year 13, as you will feel way less stress, way less pressure, as you already have an idea of which courses you will be doing and you don't really have to, rush the decision. So yeah, you will just be better off, you will be feeling more confident in your decision and you will also be more relaxed. Lastly, number 10, try as much as possible to enjoy the 2 years ahead of you, because they will be the last 2 years of your life that you will be at school. Make as much as possible from your friendships and subjects, and in general, just have fun, which is what life should be all about. Thanks for watching this video. I really hope you found this video useful, helpful towards starting year 12, feeling a bit more relaxed, confident and optimistic. Let me know any questions that you have about year 12. I will try to answer as best as possible with my experience. So as always, consider giving a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and also consider subscribing if you think that I might upload videos that might help you in some way or another. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video next week, hopefully. Let's see if that can happen. Bye.